Peace, it's me, O.G.B.O. This is a Mega Man coach. Backed by popular demand, I have a prison story for you. Well, an incarceration story for you. I go through my comments and I try to find questions that I think, even though it may not be asked a lot in my comments, I think it's one of those questions that a lot of people may have regarding the mindset of being incarcerated and the fear factor. Was I afraid? That's a that's a good question. One that I think resonates with a lot of people. And I don't want to come off disingenuous or come off like cocky, you know. No, I won't scared. Okay. It's a yes and no. Was I afraid of prison? No. But here's why. My first time being incarcerated was I was a juvenile. I did 18 days. August the 1st, I was released August the 18th. That was my very first time incarcerated. I was 15. I was afraid. I was afraid of the unfamiliar. I was afraid of being in an environment that I'd never been in before and not knowing what to expect. Now that includes safety, fearing for my life, all of that. So I was afraid, but I was incarcerated 5 times before I went to prison, all as a juvenile. So by the time I went to prison, I didn't have that fear. You know, going to prison for the first time, it was that same, I guess that same fear of not knowing what to expect. You know, people telling me what to look forward to and, what it would be like. So I had that type of fear. I can I don't think I was afraid. Yeah, I guess I think it's safe to say I had some fear for my well-being, of course. But not the type of fear I think people are thinking about. I wasn't afraid of another person per se. You know, I was pretty sure that by this point in my life that anything a person can do to me, I could do to them. Once I learned that about at age 9. You know, a guy chased me home, a boy named Robert Cosby. I share that story. I'm at the bus stop and Robert and I, we friends. We do a little carpentry work on the side. at 9 years old. My generation was different. Robert had a job at 9, 10 years old helping a carpenter. And he really knew what he was doing. And I would help Robert sometimes. But anyway, so Robert and I were friends. One day I come to the bus stop, and for whatever reason, Robert upset. And he says, Lamont, I'm going to punch you in your face. You better not say nothing today. Out the blue. We never had a problem before. And from nowhere, our fear entered me. I don't even know why to this day. But I grew afraid, sitting right there at the bus stop, that he was going to punch me in my face. The power of suggestion is something else. So I took off running. The bus stop was on the corner, and I lived on the next corner. So I ran 1 block, and he was right on my heels. I got to that door, and my grandmother had the screen door locked, but the front door was open. I'm beating on the door, Grandma, Grandma, Grandma. She opened the door, right before he could swing on me. I think she kind of like pushed him out the door. Like, if you don't get your little ass off my porch, boy. And I was afraid, and I refused to go to school that day. And she talked to me some kind of tough. Like, well, you a punk? You don't let that little boy run you in the house? The hell wrong with you? You gonna be a little bitch? Grandma, I ain't gonna be no bitch. I ain't gonna be no bitch, Grandma. Oh, shit. Oh, God, right? And I remember looking myself in the mirror that day. And it clicked. I ain't doing no more running. The disappointment my grandmother had. Now, there's the woman who sheltered me my whole life. I never had to fight. She would send my older cousin, she'd send him out there to fight for me. People my age, he almost 9 years older than me. I never had to fight. And I guess at that moment she realized that, the lesson she taught my older cousins, that they had to stand for themselves, she didn't teach me that. She sheltered me. She allowed me to run. And I guess at that moment she realized that she wasn't going to always be able to protect me. And she gave me my wings. And in the worst way, she dogged me verbally. And all I remember, I couldn't wait to get to school the next day. I get to school, and we're standing in line going to the cafeteria. And right on time, Robert starts running his mouth. And he couldn't have said more than 2 words. I had him on the ground, doing my thing with him. I put it on him. I've been putting it on him ever since. That's official. I haven't thrown more than 2 punches since 16. And I'm not being cocky or bragging or lying, but I'm a one-hitter quitter. And yeah, I put it on him, and the teacher aide didn't like Robert for whatever reason. So she let me do my thing with him for a good 30 seconds. Then the real teacher started coming down the hall. So of course Miss Gaines, that's the teacher aide, bless her heart. At that point she decided like she was breaking us up. And yeah, I did my thing with him. And I felt so good. Like the Holy Quran said, fighting when you are oppressed is liberating, is good for your soul. Yeah, Muslims, we don't turn out the cheek. No, we avoid and go out our way to avoid conflict. You know, we're never the aggressor in word, deed, or action. But you cross that line, we're going to give it to you real nice. You won't cross that line again. You notice them terrorists, them racist terrorist groups, KKKs, you notice they don't never they don't come for the nation. They don't go for the Moors, Science Temple, They really got their picks. They ain't fighting those who gonna fight back. But yeah, that day, my fear of someone doing something to me left. I haven't had that fear since. I was afraid of being in a new environment and not knowing what to expect, though. And even with that, I was afraid of not moving the right way because you have to understand when you go into prison and you hearing about rape and things like that, that's real. You could be Mike Tyson. I tell people this. Not being raped in prison is more luck than anything else. Because if two or more people decide they're going to take it from you, it's took. This is your boy O.G.B.O. It's Omega Man Codes. Till next time, peace.